Juke that beat.
What is going on, Junkies? It's your host, Kenshiro. We're back with another great episode of Culture Junkies Live. Today, we're going to be talking about our favorite music that we've had on the show. Oops, I'm tipping my hand a little bit with the topic. Let me turn that off. But anyway, we're going to talk about music and all the cool stuff that we have enjoyed over the years. First, let me introduce who's going to be on the show with me today. Ms. Miayen, how are you?
I am doing very well. How are all of you happy people out there?
We're awesome. Just like this man over here who just got a special delivery from Hot Toys today. Mr. GQ, how are you, my friend?
Well, I just got new Hot Toys stuff. Obviously, I'm doing great.
Obviously.
Ready
For the 4th? How do you celebrate the 4th? Fireworks?
I remember all the people I snapped away and then wondered how they all came back in such an odd fashion. But no spoilers on that one. I'm not saying that. No spoilers.
Yes, please don't. Don't. I still haven't seen it yet, and I'm hate myself that I haven't seen it yet.
So-called biggest Spider-Man fan and ain't seen Spider-Man.
Look, man. Stuff happens. All right. Stuff happens. Yes, but stuff happens. I'm just saying, stuff happens.
I mean, anyway. I went to go see it last night, and I had to be to work early this morning, and I didn't get to bed till midnight, and was up at freaking like 6:30, 7 o'clock, and out the house. Not too long after.
I'm going to see it tomorrow.
Kenshiro,
okay?
To make you feel better, I also have not seen it yet.
Oh, my girl, way to have my back. I appreciate that.
I have not seen it yet. I'm going to see it this weekend.
To quote a famous Canadian bunch of rookies.
Whatever. Anyway, guys. Right, whatever. I don't want to hear all that. I want to say hi to everybody that's in the chat right now. If you haven't joined yet, we hope to see you very soon. If you have joined, welcome to the show. We're going to have a whole lot of fun. Miayen, you brought it up in the chat. What is anybody gonna do the bottle cap challenge over the holiday weekend? GQ, you dabbled in martial arts a little bit. You gonna do a little something?
No, because then that would be bandwagon jumping and Statham started it, and then Danny decided he wanted to up it with the blindfold. So I'm like, why? I mean, am I supposed to pull out my force powers and do the bottle cap challenge that way and just make the bottle cap,
you go.
Without any movement of my actual body.
So you see the new one with the Latina mama hit her with the chinelo, like bow. Well, she threw it across the room and hit it and spun the bottle off.
Hilarious.
I mean, and again, I'm not knocking the challenge, but I like it when, for example, Statham did it originally, and it looked cool when he did it. Mm-hmm. Now everybody wants to. It's like, come on, man! Let him have. He came up with it apparently, possibly. Maybe he did steal it from somebody else. Who knows? But he did it first, so. Let him have done it first.
But that's the thing. It's when you make one of those hashtags and it become a challenge, then everybody has to do it. Well, not everybody, because if I did it, it would be an epic fail and probably I'd end up in the hospital. But that's the thing.
Isn't that all the more reason to do it? Now. Do it for the gram. Isn't that all the more reason to do it? Come on.
No, it's
that's why many people are doing it, not me, because I don't want to embarrass myself like that.
Let's say Bruce Lee was still alive and did something epic. I would just look, dude, that's Bruce. I'm let him have his thing because he did it. And it looked freaking awesome. And I'd be good leaving it at that.
But if it wasn't the hashtag bottle cap challenge, then it would be fine. Then it's just boom, full stop. This is something I did.
I understand.
Boom, it's a challenge.
Michael J. White put his freaking foot in there too, and he said on his Twitter. He's like, you interrupted my kung fu with bottle cap challenge, and he's working out. Then he runs over to it, kicks it, and then runs back. Interrupted my kung fu.
I would argue he's disqualified because the bottle moved. But
first off, I'm mad at Michael J. White because my damn cowboy movie with him ain't came out yet. So
where is that movie?
And
where is that movie? Goodness.
Two, you know what? Me and Dido, since we probably gonna collab on some videos coming up pretty soon, we gonna start the Jack Burton challenge. We're gonna find a whole bunch of
Yo, that'd be
bunch
crazy
of
though.
You can do that just is not necessarily all that special, but damn it, you glad that you did it. The Jack Burton challenge. We're gonna figure something out. It's gonna be hours.
Y'all could go ahead and go original Jack and take a machete and a glass bottle. See if you can, see if you can chop it in half, or if it rolls up. See what kind of reflexes you got.
That would technically be the Wang challenge because Wang.
Yeah, but Jack caught it. So, Jack caught it. So
that's the all in the reflexes challenge.
Okay.
I'm not quite as spry as I used to be, so I ain't trying to have a bottle flying at my face.
Look at this. So, I'm glad this is live. My man is admitting a weakness. Look at this. He's admitting he's not as good as he used to be. That is a weakness. Father Time has got you. That's basically what you're saying.
No, not really. I just said I'm not as spry as them. So I personally do not want bottles flying at my face.
Okay. Our top fan, Tony Young, is in the chat. What's up, brother? Glad you be on the show. He's the first top fan. I mean, we maybe we need to break him off a little something. I know we say we're gonna get some.
I might send him one of these pins I'm wearing.
Okay.
I don't know.
Show it off a little bit.
Yeah, Tony might be one of the first recipients of a Culture Junkies pin via the live stream. So
right.
Oh no! Right. Hit us up in the group. Like send us a DM to Culture Junkies, and we'll get your info.
Right. Big Kahuna in the house.
And awesome. Big Kahuna gets one by default if he ever show up at another event.
He will. I mean, he's up and around. He's driving now, so yeah.
There you go. Yeah, he'll be there. He'll be. You know what? He'll be. I guarantee you, Kahuna will show up for the Fast and the Furious presents.
Oh, you know he will. You know he will.
We go. So Kahuna's gonna have to get his on that day, August 2nd. Right. Yep.
Absolutely. Hand of Omega's just joined us over here on YouTube. What's up, brother? How are you? Glad to see you.
The Hand of Omega.
Right. So that wasn't the only thing that kind of the whole bottle cap challenge that came out, but and we can talk about it briefly, and I'm sure this is kind of warmed the heart of Miss Miao Yin over there with her red tresses and everything. But did y'all see Ariel for Disney's live action remake? Live action Little Mermaid got picked, and it's gonna be Halle Bailey, who stars on Grownish. So, what's your reaction to that news?
I think it's pretty cool. Like, I like her music, like her and her sister. I haven't watched Grownish yet. I plan to. I just haven't gotten around to it. But I really like her and her sister's music. They are in the group. What is it? Chloe X Halle, something like that. And I really like their music. I think that she would do a great job in the role.
Food delivery. What is that? Are we expecting some Chinese food or something? What's going on here? That's your doorbell? Was that literally your doorbell? Like you're expecting guests?
Yes, my doorbell rings through my phone, and I didn't expect it.
That's so classic.
Wait, hold on. You didn't expect it?
I didn't expect it, like, not so soon. Like, why are we going into this?
You better be packing going to that door and get unexpected doorbells.
I didn't expect it so soon. I didn't expect it so quickly. Like
I heard unexpected, so that's all. I stopped listening after the word unexpected.
Okay.
So you go down there with a sword or something.
I didn't expect it so soon.
Go down there with a sword, little sister. Go down there armed.
I'm not going down there. My husband is down there. He can handle it.
Okay. I do remember him saying something about, do you want me to bring you your food? So, what we grubbing on today? What we rubbing on today, huh? Got a little burger ready for the 4th? Got a hot dog?
Not a burger. I think it's like ribs and veggies.
Ribs? Oh, she getting the 4th started early. She getting the ribs. She getting the 4th of July started early. Ribs.
I mean, that's American.
It's totally American.
Wait. It's partially American. I heard ribs and veggies.
I eat a lot of vegetables.
What? Ribs and veggies.
If you would have said like ribs and mashed potatoes, and then the vegetables are in the form of coleslaw.
Man, skip that. No, it's ribs and corn on the cob. That I accept nothing else.
Ew, I don't eat corn on the cob.
What?
No, I don't. I try to stay away from corn. Period.
Okay.
Moving on from Malian's food choices.
Yeah, it's not our culture.
This girl
food
don't
is
eat corn.
odd.
What a corn on the cob? What
I
is
don't
what?
like corn. It does terrible things to my body, so I don't eat it.
Okay,
You took a look in that toilet that one time, got freaked out.
I just don't like corn things. Like I eat grits every blue moon, but other than that, I stay away from corn altogether.
Grits and shrimps yield.
Right.
Yeah, that's probably like the only exception when I would like eat corn. Other than that, I stay away from it.
Saying what's up to John P over there on YouTube.
Yep.
Keeping them honest.
Our boy, our friend Zach Brewer Kirby, he just liked the stream. What's up, man? How are you? Yeah, no. So I guess we can stop ribbing her about the corn. Although
in Hand of Omega, no, we're not going to talk more about my food choices.
I mean, yeah, no, we can because we could be here all day. Next thing you know, I'm gonna hear that she'd rather eat some kind of tofu burger instead of a real American hamburger tomorrow.
Tofu is disgusting. No.
So Zach wants to know what are we talking about today. He missed the show open. Yeah, today we're going to talk about a bunch of different stuff, but one of the things we're definitely talking about is your favorite types of genre music, favorite themes over the years. We're going to get into that real quick, but right now we're talking about Halle Bailey's casting as Ariel for The Little Mermaid. You know, obviously the usual suspects are already out there talking that talk about oh, why are you making her black and all this stuff. It's like I'm tired of the whole race switching stuff. And man, look, and a lot of people have already made the argument, right? There's nothing in The Little Mermaid's origin, even though it was written by a Danish author and it was takes place in Denmark, the original story. But the Disney story, she's raised in Atlantica, and there's nothing about her inherently that says she has to be red-haired, she has to be white. What's your thoughts, guys?
I don't remember that movie because I don't think I've ever actually seen it. Were there any people of color in Atlantica? Besides
yeah.
who apparently was black.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there were different colored mermaids and stuff, but I'm just like
real color, not like purple and like orange and all the weird colors.
No, like I remember, and I could be remembering wrong, but I remember there being like a couple of mermaids, like not that they had big roles in the movie or impact or anything, but I remember them being of like a wide range of colors. So I'm like, and I mean like human colors, like human skin colors. But I mean, it's ridiculous. It's a story about a freaking mermaid. Like, are you guys really on this? Like, mermaids aren't real. So like, why are you mad that a fictional character? Okay. Like, why are we mad that fictional characters are like, it's not like, oh, they made, I don't know, Susan B. Anthony black. Like, that's different than The Little Mermaid. I could even see if they were just like, oh, okay, Pocahontas they made black, or Mulan they made black. That's weird. That's like, because there's historical stuff in there and all that. This is The Little Mermaid. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
people
I agree.
Just want to cry.
It's the freaking Little Mermaid. Like, nobody's really crying about her not being white. I mean, and if they are, I think they're looking at the wrong thing here. But Zach Brewer Kirby brought up something really poignant. He said, oh, Ariel's black? She's black Ariel? Her hair got to be on point. But I'm just like, how her hair gonna be on point in the water, man? Like, it's the water.
Hair does amazing things in water, let me tell you.
I'm sure it floats, but on point in the water? Come on now.
Yes.
It better look really good then.
Yeah, your hair does amazing things. Well, as a person with hair, when my hair is in the water, my natural hair is in the water, it's amazing.
I almost want to see this now.
It's majestic. It's amazing.
It's majestic. She's like it's majestic.
So,
look at Mirror. Oh, she was like, Hand of Omega's like, okay, yeah. Look at Mirror in the water. Okay, I can see that. I can see that. Yeah. I can see that. I can see that. Yeah.
Be amazing, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna make sure her hair is on point. So
okay, if she's gonna be the mermaid, then I want her to have a completely multicultural parentage. Then
yeah,
she probably will.
King Triton's got to be like who should be King Triton then? Let's go ahead.
James Earl Jones is to mess with everybody. And then I want Priyanka Chopra to be her mom.
Wow.
No, I'm down with Priyanka to be her mom. I don't know about James Earl Jones.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm joking about James Earl Jones because he's old. But let's see. If you really want somebody to be her dad,
well, that King Triton has to be in the movie.
I understand that.
I'm just saying.
Her mom was never in the movie, right? Her mom was never in any of the movies. She was dead or something, right?
Yeah.
Well, skip that. Kill King Triton, put Priyanka Chopra in as her mom.
Wow. Flip the script just completely. Okay.
Yeah, I think they always mention her mom, but her mom wasn't
No,
like.
skip that. If you cast Priyanka Chopra and don't show her, that's a crime against humanity.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
like she could be one of her sisters. Like Priyanka could be one of her sisters because she had siblings.
Okay, but isn't this girl that's cast like super young?
Yes, she is. She's like 19,
Priyanka's
20, right?
Priyanka is like in her 30s.
Yep.
But she had a bunch of siblings, so it doesn't matter.
Well, that's nasty. What the hell?
Mm-hmm.
What? They procreate.
I guess like caviar down there. That's disgusting.
Head of Omega is foul. Reginald Bell Johnson as Ariel's dad. Oh my God, this guy. Melissa McCarthy got cast as Ursula. So a lot of people are upset that because Ursula, it should have been a drag queen that was cast as Ursula, since that's who was the inspiration for Ursula in the original. That's what they say. The
voice for Ursula? Was it a drag?
No. The voice of Ursula was a woman, but the inspiration for her look was from a drag queen. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. So I'm just.
I know that there was a lot of people. They wanted Titus Burgess to be Ursula, which I'm just like, that would be cool because he's hilarious. But then people are also like, oh, Lizzo, let's do Lizzo, and I love Lizzo, but I don't want Lizzo to be Ursula. That's just me though.
But isn't the inspiration for a drag queen a woman?
Mm-hmm.
So cast a woman.
They did.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't really understand why you need to have a drag queen play a female character.
Yeah, it's just some people, you know how people are about authenticity and all this other kind of nonsense.
Okay, but now you can't throw authenticity in there if you were just talking about it's all fantasy and crazy. So
right,
can't have it both ways.
No, you can't. Anyway, guys, we got a lot of stuff to kind of talk about, but real quick, first thing I want to talk about is, did you know that Stranger Things is supposed to come back on Netflix tomorrow? But Young Justice already came back on DC Universe just yesterday. So which return has anybody on the panel a lot more hyped?
I am super hyped for Stranger Things, and if I didn't have this glorious Mayan numeral shirt on, then I would have my Stranger Things shirt on.
Okay.
Because I'm like, well, this is the shirt I had on today, so I forgot. That's what it comes down to. But yeah, I'm super psyched for Stranger Things dropping at 3:00 in the morning or midnight here.
Why do they do that? Like, why can't they just release it on just like at a normal time instead of like?
Because East Coast. West Coast.
Yeah, it's midnight on the Pacific.
West Coast. Yeah, Pacific.
Man, we don't live life for the Pacific. The East Coast comes first. We go down first.
Apparently not where Netflix is concerned.
Apparently not.
You're all getting it at the same time.
Yeah,
I don't care what
whatever.
you say.
Hey man, can't they region lock like some of the shows, like have it come out on the East first, and then
they could, but that's actually
you really think the region lock is going to stop most people?
Of course not. Get behind that VPN and just go on to town.
Yeah, there's ways around it, of course.
There's ways around that.
Most people are not going to do that.
Yeah, they're not. That's why they do it the way they do it. What's convenient for them, which is fine with me.
Because I know how to do it, and I just don't feel like for example, Titans. I could have just changed VPN to like something Canadian and watched Titans. Or actually, I could have just went to Belle Isle, sat by the water.
Yeah, there you go.
Only problem is getting charged some Canadian fees.
Nah,
Yeah,
I got
there you
that
go.
T-Mobile, bro. T-Mobile's free.
Yeah, T-Mobile's free over there.
T-Mobile,
So
That's true.
yeah,
Woo.
yeah. So John P is like Young
T-Mobile
Justice
sponsor,
Outsiders.
hey.
Young Justice Outsiders was so-so. Heard Stranger Things season 2 wasn't as good as the first season. I have to disagree with Young Justice Outsiders being so-so, man. I don't know where. Yeah, I can't agree with that. And Stranger Things season 2 wasn't as good as the first season. I don't know who in the world is saying that because they wrong. Like, because the second season was dope to me. So I'm very much hyped for the third season. Can't wait. I can't wait. So for me, it's like a toss up between which one I'm more hyped for. I'm kind of hyped equally for both of them. What about you, Dido? Which one are you more hyped for? Well, probably you say Stranger Things since you probably haven't seen Young Justice.
I think I watched 1 or 2 episodes of Young Justice, but see, my problem is when I get excited about a show and I start watching it, start binging it and doing all that other stuff, when these people decide to, we want to make a break or we want to cancel it, and then years later they bring it back, sometimes the fire is not there. So I watched like 1 or 2 episodes of Young Justice and it just didn't pull me in as I was when it was the thing. And Stranger Things, I kind of forgot all about it until like literally today. People saying, "Oh yeah, it's coming back." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I'll probably get around to watching all of them. At the moment, it's easier to watch Stranger Things because if I remember correctly, Young Justice is on that CW net, not CW.
No, DC Universe. The DC Universe.
Whatever. They fucking splintered dumbass shit. It should have just been Warner Brothers, and they could have. They're dumb. Disney, I'm sorry, I don't like Disney's competition thing because it's dumb. Warner Brothers and Disney, of course, they got 2 different heads of power going on doing whatever the heck they're doing. But Disney, we're Disney. We're going to put stuff that we make on our channel. Warner Brothers, we're just going to have DC stuff. Like, you dumb idiot. You're Warner Brothers. Have Warner Brothers, have DC, have whatever umbrellas that you got all in one spot. And people probably wouldn't have thought that your shit was a joke.
Well, I would say a thing about that is that Warner Brothers has their fingers. No, not saying that Disney doesn't, because Disney has their fingers in a lot of things too. But Warner Brothers, like, they space it out and they're putting they have people paying for different things. So they're making a lot more money because people don't know sometimes. They don't know that, HBO is owned by Warner Brothers. So they're paying for that stuff. And, so they're making money in different ways and they're stretching it out to get different audiences, I think. I think that's how it goes. Do I think that they should be more strategic about this stuff? I think they should, but it's working for them. They're making a bunch of money off of it.
Yeah, but they canceled everything already. It's like Swamp Thing, and I hear they're canceling literally everything except for the Titans or whatever.
Well, Swamp Thing they were canceled for
different reasons. I get it.
Reasons.
They got canceled for someone being stupid in the clerical office. That was just the dumbest thing ever, man. I'm pretty sure
that was several people. I'm pretty sure that was several failures, not just one office. But yeah. So. But
with that, I'm trying to.
And that way, if you think about it, fine, this thing is sinking over here, but no, they're also making money with things over other places. So
yeah, and that's good and dandy, but it's just like wanting to get excited right now. I started watching. I don't know if it's old. It's still on. It's probably still on, but it's a show that's been on for a while called Letterkenny, and it has nothing to do with comics or pop culture, but it is pretty funny, and I like watching it.
What is it called?
Letterkenny, like envelope letter, and you, if you want to use, partial of your name and put the NY on it, Letterkenny. It's on Hulu. It's actually a pretty funny show, and I actually quite enjoy watching it. But if I had to choose one at the moment, I'd probably choose Stranger Things because, like I said, it's easier to watch.
So here's the thing I want to ask, and we can get into a whole Stranger Things recap and stuff at a later date. But do you guys see? I mean, the kids are getting older. I can't foresee them doing, too many more seasons. Do you want them to keep it going, or would you rather them stop it right here at season 3?
Oh crap! I'm talking now. From my understanding, that You hear two things about Stranger Things. Some people think it's a really good show, and some people only like it because it's 80s nostalgia, like a lot of it. So, I mean, if you're going to use the same actors and they grow up, why not? I mean, actually, you couldn't do that, but like the story It. You had them as a kids and you had them as adults. Unfortunately, you're not going to wait, 10 years till they become adults for the kids and the first part of It to the second one. But sometimes being able to use the same actors, I think, is kind of cool. For example, the rumor that we heard many years ago when Kill Bill was out about the bride's daughter and what's her name, Vernita Green's daughter. Can't remember what her called. Copperhead, was it Copperhead?
Yes, Copperhead.
Yeah.
Nikita.
They were talking about those two should, once they grow and use the same actors. Quentin Tarantino was rumor about it. I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Don't know. As right now, it's not going to happen. But I think the idea of it is kind of cool. So why not? Keep the kids going. If the kids want to keep going, why not?
Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't have a problem with it either way. I mean, it's a popular show, and I'm sure Netflix is going to milk it into the ground, especially with the news that I hear that next year they're going to not be spending nearly as much on original programming as they did this year, and they've spent a ton. So, all right, moving right along to the next topic, and that is all about the music. We came up with this topic because we were kind of waxing poetic about some of our favorite music back in the day. Whether it be on video games, whether it be on movies, whether it be in TV shows, and there's been a lot of music. And music has for a lot of people, hearing a certain musical track will take you right back into the scene and your feelings of what when you were watching the scene that the music was playing in. So it kind of it helps set off the longevity of your not what's the word I'm looking for, longevity of your like for a certain program or for a certain movie. Like, say for instance, for me, one of the reasons why I love Man of Steel so much is because the score was absolutely phenomenal. So let's talk about some of our favorite masters of the genre, of genre music. Now, we all know about John Williams. He's a master. He's probably like the most legendary genre film composer who has ever lived. We've got Danny Elfman. We've also got who was another really back in the day that I'm drawing a blank on. Oh, Alan Silvestri, who did Back to the Future. So who's left their mark on you the most outside of, like, say maybe even John Williams or some of the other masters that I mentioned?
Harry Gregson Williams, rather.
Why's that? And what's he known for?
Metal Gear. Well, he's done a lot of movie soundtracks, but his best thing for me was Metal Gear Solid 2 soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
He took a really good theme and made it like a million times more powerful. So
yeah, he did, because it was like it lended, especially with when Metal Gear Solid 2 came out. When Metal Gear Solid came out, it was a great game, but it was kind of like it was awesome. But when he did the theme, even for that intro, when the E3 trailer came out and the music hit with his rendition of the Metal Gear Solid theme, it became cinematic. It went on to a whole nother level, and that's kind of what made Metal Gear Solid 2 kind of like go down in history as one of the greatest PS2 games, if not the greatest entry in the Metal Gear Solid franchise ever. Would you agree, disagree? What do you think?
I mean, definitely, it's like he raised it to a whole different level. Also, he's responsible for music at X-Men Origins Wolverine, Chronicles of Narnia, Man on Fire, Spy Game, Phone Booth, The Martian, Shrek. So I mean, he's done a lot of different films. But like I said, my favorite stuff was definitely from the Metal Gear series. And if they ever freaking do a movie, you got to bring him back to do another remix of it.
Absolutely, I will accept no other. Although I'm sure there's a lot of really great substitutes that we might hear about right now. Like Hand of Omega mentioned John Barry for the James Bond theme and his James Bond scores. Goldfinger comes to mind with a particular James Bond score that I really liked. Big Kahuna loves Yo-Yo Ma. Big Kahuna loves Yo-Yo Ma for the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon score, which a lot of people don't really remember it necessarily for that.
I love it.
Yeah, I love it too, but not, a lot of people don't really remember Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon necessarily for the music, but for the cinematography. But the music definitely was nothing to sleep on.
Sorry,
but I think the cinema it went right together with it. Like
exactly.
Okay.
It put the whole picture together. Like you had the visuals, like, but the music, like, brought that emotion out and those, like, everything. Like, that's just me though.
Go back and watch the original fight between Michelle Yeoh's character and Zhang Ji's character when they were outside when she was still in disguise and whatnot. The music was timed to their actual fight, like literally, move for move, beat for beat. Like that's why, like the audience that I saw it with was clapping just from the fact that it was so well edited, shot, and then just the music just made basically bridge that gap. Yeah. So the music in that movie was big, huge star of that film. Besides just the cinematography and the fights, because the music is what tied it all together.
Yeah, for me right now, the one person that comes to mind is Ramin Djawadi, and he does the Game of Thrones. He does Westworld. He did Iron Man, Pacific Rim, all those, in A Wrinkle in Time, and a couple other things. And I think that it's more modern because it's like in the 2000s and stuff like that he's come up, and who can, like, anybody who has seen Game of Thrones knows that the music in it is epic, and it helps. It's like all right there. And I play his stuff in my car all the time. That's what I really enjoy about Westworld is the music and stuff like that, because he does some covers of some classic songs, and it works well again with the cinematography and everything. It paints, like, for me, music sometimes helps the story along, so I definitely love that him right now. He's one of the composers that is on my list that I enjoy.
You did the music for what show?
Huh?
He did the music for what show?
He's done Game of Thrones. He's done Westworld. For movies, I know he's worked. He worked on Iron Man, A Wrinkle in Time, and something else. It's something else that I'm leaving out, but he's Pacific Rim.
I've heard of Iron Man and Westworld. I don't know about those other ones you mentioned. They sound kind of.
Well, you're not a Game of Thrones fan yet, so when you watch Game of Thrones, you'll know what I'm talking about, because he did the theme song.
He was sitting there watching the last episode with us. Why are you falling for this banana in the tailpipe trick of his?
But still, I mean, he's not a fan yet. Just because you watch an episode doesn't mean that you're a fan. There's a difference.
Well, I think I saw everything I needed to see with my character that I supported getting killed in that episode, so I don't know. I'm not sure if I really want to watch the series now.
Part of it is the journey. It's the journey. It's worth it.
I think it's worth it.
The journey is worth it. Anyway, so Dido, I know you're not a big musical score fan as far as from the films go, but perhaps from video games, some of them might stand out to you. Like, even if you were to mention Tommy Tallarico, from back in the Genesis games, he put together some really nice 16-bit soundtracks from back in the day. Is there anybody else that comes to mind for, maybe video games or TV shows that might stand out to you?
Okay. When it comes
even if
to
you
music,
did like a Google search, even if you did a Google search.
Hey, I'd have to basically look that stuff up. I mean, I like music from a lot of video games, stuff that I have in my soundtracks. Mm-hmm. Like there's a Japanese composer for the video game Jet Set Radio, if you remember that one. Mm-hmm. And I listen to his stuff quite often. It's Hideki Naganuma. He also did, he's done quite a bit of stuff. Another one that sticks in my head is Sonic Rush. I think he did the series for that. And, I just am not one of those guys that remembers the composers' names. I mean, they're important. They do some great stuff. Video game music, if it's really catchy, it gets thrown into my playlist. I don't have anything from movies. I have music that I've heard in movies, but not specifically just soundtracks or not soundtracks, excuse me, scores done for movies. So I couldn't even recall any of those people. But just like, I love the soundtrack for Castlevania Symphony of Night. I like the soundtrack for Super Castlevania 4. I thought was good. Specifically Simon Belmont's theme, and I forgot I think the woman that composed that. And I could go on for days about songs, but who wrote them? Nah, I don't know.
Well, here's one that you're forgetting that I know you know for sure. Yoko Kanno.
I have little things about Yoko Kanno when it comes to anime side because, back a long time ago, I truly believe she was really talented because I heard so much stuff. And then I found a video on the internet, a video on YouTube that basically said Yoko Kanno was a ripoff artist. She ripped off so much shit. Now, maybe she did a lot of stuff that's original because I like Macross Plus. I like the soundtrack of Macross Plus. And regardless of the stuff that she may or may not ripped off from Cowboy Bebop, I still like Cowboy Bebop soundtrack, but I literally in that video, it was not just Cowboy Bebop, but they took songs from various things that she did, and the songs are where they supposedly came from.
It's almost like
that.
people never want to admit that people get inspired by things that they hear or see.
And it may be inspiration, but there's one song that I'd like you to hear maybe after the show is over. Sure. I'm pretty sure it's not inspiration, dude. It was kind of like, huh? Why? How'd you do that?
Look, it happens all the time, though. I mean, I'm not gonna necessarily knock her for that. But anyway, we're not gonna get bogged down in that. Honestly,
everybody steals, no exceptions. Hannibal Maker, maybe everybody does steal, but is it blatant or is it just like, for example, long time ago, I have an uncle who's a professional musician. He's played with many people out there. And one of the things that most people have heard that I can comment on is the Ghostbusters thing. My uncle back in the 80s played with Ray Parker Jr. And, they did the Ghostbusters thing. And anybody knows about the Ghostbusters theme, Huey Lewis and the News sued Ray Parker Jr. because they said it sounds like I Want a New Drug. Yeah, if you go and listen to I Want a New Drug, they claim that it was, he ripped it off or whatnot.
I think they're reaching on that one. I know those two songs.
I think they're reaching too, but it was settled out of court for an undisclosed amount. And I've listened to I Want a New Drug, and I like I Want a New Drug, but I don't really see the Ghostbusters in it. So somebody did apparently, But it's something like that. Like in that manner, was Ray Parker Jr. influenced? Was he stealing, or was it just somewhat a tune that was similar? When it came to that stuff for Yoko Kanno, I'd have to look it up. I know that it was I think it was called Mushroom Samba. Oh yeah, if you look up on YouTube, Mushroom Samba, I think it was called the Yoko Kanno one, and then this song called Let the Good Shine. If you listen to Let the Good Shine first and then Mushroom Samba, you're going to be like, motherfucker, no, this is not inspiration at all. This is like, god darn, just like straight up rip off. All they did was change the words, because like there's a part in Mushroom Samba where she goes, Mexico, blah, 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 and it's going off over different like cities or countries. They did the exact same thing. You just have to hear it. And there are more, of course, but I still like the sound of the stuff. Yeah. But it's just kind of like giving credit to Yoko Kanno is just kind of hard now, just because
it shouldn't be.
It is, dude. It's extremely hard.
My question for Hand is, okay, if everybody copies, then who did Michael Jackson copy Thriller from?
Yeah, exactly. Michael Jackson, OG, man, original.
Nobody.
Yeah. So
Quincy Jones is just the dude. Quincy Jones is the dude, man.
I think there are some people who do they do covers or they'll take samples from other people, but there are legitimately a lot of people who just make their own stuff.
Wow, and look at this. Hannah Omega saying some really outlandish stuff. He's like, the Star Wars theme was arguably ripped off from another movie. I mean, Damn.
He's funny.
I'm sorry. Go ahead,
so
Mian. Go
What's
ahead.
the movie though?
I want to hear that too. I want to hear that too.
Like
Albert
I've always
Castaneda
heard that
was.
it's like the name of the Imperial March. Like the real name of it is like it has something to do with Mars or something like that. There was this orchestra that did the songs, and they just let Star Wars use the songs and blah blah blah. But I'm just like, that's still original. That's not ripping something off. Like, yeah, so like John P said, Under Pressure and Ice Ice Baby, Vanilla Ice, like, definitely used a sample.
A straight
a whole
rip.
sample
Yeah.
from it. And so that's totally different. David Bowie or his producer or the sound people came up with that, or, those Interdisc, whatever, came up with that, and Ice-T's people did not. So that's the difference.
Well, Biggie and Puffy didn't sample from nobody. They came up with all their own stuff.
Yeah, whatever, dude. The sample master himself, Puff Daddy, Big P Diddy. But I don't even want to hear it. Come on now. Anyway, so yeah, there's a lot of people that we didn't mention yet. Obviously, I mentioned Hans Zimmer earlier, but we didn't touch on him too much. We also needed to talk about Basil Polidoris, who did, Conan the Barbarian. He's done a lot of music scores, but he also did that excellent RoboCop score from the first movie. That stuff was great. There's a lot of stuff that he did that stood out as well. So,
Dido over there trying to get us flagged.
I know, right?
Yeah, flag me up
for whistling. Anyway,
let me see if I can fart the theme song.
Hey man, let's not get crazy now.
Gosh.
Let's not get crazy now. He would love doing that.
That's a different challenge.
That'd be one of them stupid human tricks he would just love pulling off one of these days. Anyway, so
what about Eric Serra?
Eric Serra?
Yeah.
Is that Michael Cera's brother?
No, it's Eric Serra. He works with Luc Besson a lot.
For Fifth Element and other things, I'm sure, right? So I suspect someone wanted to get a little dig in on me.
Taking that long to see this movie.
Yeah, whatever, man. Okay, I admit the movie was good. All right, damn. What else do you want?
We all knew that.
Yeah, pretty much.
This fool Hannah Omega said, "Is Spider-Man: Far From Home going to be my new Fifth Element?" Man, forget you. He said that earlier in the show. I didn't even want to pay him no mind when he said it, man. Forget you. Anyway, it's not the truth. Anyway, moving right along.
Whatever.
So,
where are you going to see it tomorrow then?
There's only one place I'm going to go see it. Super EMAX, brother. Come on now.
Oh boy.
Come on now.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Better do it right.
Yeah, of course I am. I ain't gonna fake the funk. Anyway, so the next topic I wanted to talk about is, what were some of our favorite, scores or original soundtracks of all time? Like, I'm sure we've got a lot that we could just rattle off right here and now. But what is like your absolute favorite that you love from back in the day?
I mean, soundtrack or a score? Because
doesn't
have
matter.
a soundtrack that I really,
It doesn't matter. I mean, to me, I guess you could say, I know we're talking film composers, but I guess I could, because a lot of times soundtracks, they get played in the movie, but the scores to me are what matter more. So if you want to mention either one, if you want to mention either one, go ahead. We can mention them both. Go ahead. So score or original soundtrack, which one stand out to you?
So I have two soundtracks that I love and that I still like play over and over today. Actually, one of the soundtracks has my favorite song in it. I'm not going to tell you what it is though. But it's two of them. So one of them is the original soundtrack from Batman from the old Batman with Prince. I love that soundtrack. And then the other one is the Tomb Raider soundtrack. That was like one of the I don't want to say it was one CD that I bought for myself, like with my own little saving up my money and all that kind of stuff. And I love that CD. I still bump that CD. It is amazing. Like the CD skips terribly. And actually I listen to it on like Napster and all other things. But
I mean, why don't you just get you a disc doctor and just call it a day, man?
I have nostalgia, so it's like I still have that actual CD, like from that's almost 20 years old, if it's not 20 years old actually. So yeah, I still have it.
That soundtrack actually has one song. The song is called Illuminati.
I love that song.
It has a sample in there that I still to this day cannot place. And it's getting on my nerves. I even asked my brother who used to DJ, and he couldn't remember what the sample was either.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's such a good song. I love it.
Yeah, no, that whole soundtrack is awesome.
It's so good.
Like we got a bunch of them in the chat that are being rattled off right now. We had two people, Big Kahuna and a new viewer to the show. Pardon me if I mangle your name. No, Albert didn't say it. Akil Jetsfu Brewer said. And Big Kahuna said the Above the Rim soundtrack. Now, soundtracks go. Above the Rim was pretty freaking sweet. Huh?
I'm looking at Albert saying that and Cisco saying that. I don't know what you were reading.
Or maybe I got it mixed up. I could have got it mixed up. My bad.
Shit. Marcus Murphy over there with Super Nerd talking about Streets of Rage 2 soundtrack.
Yeah, that was good. Streets of Rage 2 was pretty dope.
Really dope. I'm sorry if I'm butting in. I had to go grab some.
That's okay.
No,
like
that works. That's good.
No, that's fine. Like right here. And Albert mentioned, one that was, the Ghost in the Shell game soundtrack was
this is the
fire.
Game soundtrack.
That thing
this
was
is the
fire.
Soundtrack right here.
Yo, man, the title track alone just completely slaps. The title track alone was complete. That was like one of them Son May CDs that we had to grab back in the day going to the Comic Cons, man.
The game didn't age well, but the soundtrack did.
It sure did.
And this is what I was talking about. Hideki Nakanuma, Jet Set Radio. I still bump this stuff all the time. It's not. I don't listen to the CDs, of course, because now you got this thing right here. You got all your music on it, and all that other stuff. So
is that a Zoom?
Yeah, it's a Zoom. It's myself. You got all that stuff on there, but
I used to have a Zune.
Oh man, how cute! Zunes, they're paperweights now. LGZ's checking in. She says on YouTube, and she was like, "Tron Legacy was nice." No, Tron Legacy was, of course, done by Daft Punk, I think, which also makes it sweet. But let's see. Albert also did say the Last Dragon soundtrack was fire, and I love that.
That's a good soundtrack.
Certain tracks on the Last Dragon soundtrack are fire. Certain tracks, not the whole soundtrack.
Are you talking about Stevie Wonder's song? Isn't good? Vanity's song?
I didn't like Vanity singing in that movie at all.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna be honest.
I don't think anybody really did. So I mean,
Rhythm of the Night was cool, but damn it, that whole part where they showed the entire video in the movie, I'm just like,
I know, right?
I'm like, damn it, I understand that this is a Motown financed film, but damn it, can we move on? I was so mad. I'm just sitting there just like, oh my god, they're gonna show the whole video, and they show the whole video. I'm like, damn it, this is disgusting. But it is what it is.
Yeah, it is.
Marcus said, Super Nerd said that Stephanie says Maximum Overdrive soundtrack.
That Stephen King movie, the Maximum Overdrive.
Mm-hmm.
I was too young. I'm too young, I think, to remember that one. And it's ironic I'm saying that, but that came out like 1983 or 84 or something like that. Yeah, I didn't.
It was a while ago. It was a while ago.
Can I go off the deep end for a second, with a soundtrack? And so The Great Gatsby book, I hate it. I hate it every time I have to read it.
Are we talking the new one or the original?
I'm talking about just The Great Gatsby itself. I hate the book. I absolutely hate the book. So when I saw the movie, and the soundtrack is what got me to love the movie, the newest movie, the 2013, I think. Is it 2013?
So, yeah,
I think it was 13. Was it 13?
So we're talking Leo DiCaprio and Tobey Maguire, not Robert Redford and Sam Waterston. Okay.
That doesn't exist to me, but the other one doesn't exist. Only the new one does. So.
I had to watch that movie when I was in ninth grade. Or was it 10th grade? I forget.
I had to read the book. The movie, and I absolutely hated both of them.
Yeah,
but then the new one came out, and I was like, the soundtrack is everything, and I love it. So that's just a film and book. I had to bring that one off because it's like not really kind of nerdy or geeky or whatever, but it's an amazing soundtrack. And then of course, if I go back to Mass Effect, of course, because I have Mass Effect 3.
I mean, you such a damn geek for Mass Effect. My God.
I have it, yes, on my phone.
She got them all. Look at that.
On my phone.
All right.
Hey, you know what? I can't talk though because I got a whole bunch of Final Fantasy soundtracks on in my Google Play cloud, so yeah. I can't really talk. But you know, Final Fantasy soundtracks are pretty damn good in my opinion. Now, here's one. Go ahead.
I'm upset with John P. over on YouTube. Somebody he picked up the Blade soundtrack when he
finally saw the film
a few years later.
I was just going to mention
it was that good. Man, you better be like in your early 20s talking about that.
Right. Didn't see Blade until come on, man. It's crazy.
I would say I was in my early 20s when I saw it, and it was amazing. And I actually heard the soundtrack before I saw the movie. And I was like, I need to watch this movie.
Here's an example, right, of how music can just completely redeem a film that is otherwise terrible. Queen's Flash Gordon soundtrack just saves the entire movie. Like, the movie is great just because of that soundtrack. I kid you not.
Hold on. Is it the soundtrack or is it just that one song?
No, it's literally the entire movie. No, the entire movie, the soundtrack, like Queen did the entire soundtrack for the entire movie.
I understand that, but everybody knows the one song.
Yeah, everybody knows the one song.
I think it's definitely the song.
It's the song, but I mean, if you hear like all the guitar riffs that are played throughout that movie, it's great. Like a lot of the stuff they did in that soundtrack was great, and it makes a terrible movie somewhat palatable. That's kind of what I'm talking about. That's what I mean.
I guess. Well, okay. I also have to call out LGZ. Like, she's saying the Social Network soundtrack, and I 100% agree with her because I love Trent Reznor. I love Trent Reznor, period. So he's one of my favorite artists of all time. And the Social Network and Gone Girl, yes. Just yes.
All right, that's so Elvis bringing up Lost Boys, which was another good one. That
was a really good one. Yeah.
One of my favorites.
I remember one song of Lost Boys.
Yeah.
I still believe. They got the saxophone and top it. Like, what the hell is going on? This guy
serenading us tonight.
Right. One of my favorites that I like the soundtrack and the score is the Leonardo DiCaprio and John Leguizamo Romeo and Juliet.
Yes.
That entire soundtrack and score, and damn it, the movie was freaking perfect. So
yes, it was.
I'm just sitting back like
when I hated Leo, so it took me a while to actually watch the film. But I heard all the music from it, and I can definitely agree that it's great.
Oh, I wasn't a Leo fan. I was a John Leguizamo as Tybalt fan. That was my dude. Like all the way from the top to the bottom, the way he dressed, the damn metal heel boots, the freaking Catholic themed guns and vest to match. I was like, dude,
them guns were ridiculous, dude. Them guns were straight crazy.
Right. I'm not even really a gun guy, but like if they ever came out with a collection of all the guns from that film, just replicas, I'd buy that. I would, in a heartbeat, would not care what the cost is. I would have all those bad boys on the wall because damn, that movie was amazing. If they redid every single Shakespeare novel and play in that style, I'd have the entire collection because that movie was perfect. Like everybody in high school had to grow up with the Leo Zeffirelli one from 1970s or whatever. Damn it, if we would have had the Leo version in high school, everybody would have been all over the Romeo and Juliet. That would have been awesome. Like, okay, cool, this is perfect. I'm good. I know this whole play frontwards and backwards now.
Yeah.
Queen of the Damned. All right, Q.
Yeah, Queen of the Damned was a damn good one. Like Big Kahuna mentioned, the Rocky 4 soundtrack was pretty damn good. Rocky 3 wasn't bad either. Rocky 2, Tim Conti on Rocky 2 wasn't bad. And as well. Albert Castaneda says Romeo Must Die. I mean, Romeo Must Die. I guess, yeah. I guess
it had a good soundtrack actually.
It did have a very good soundtrack.
That soundtrack was amazing. But can we go back to Queen of the Damned? Like,
go ahead.
Like not only the score was great because it was kind of mixed with the soundtrack, and then I still bump that soundtrack too, which is certain songs I have to skip because it makes me sad. But definitely a classic, a modern classic, like. Love it to death. Still bump it in my car to this day.
All right. In the chat on YouTube and Facebook, I dropped a YouTube link to a video that I did that contains one of my still favorite songs of all time by a group called The Hit House. And the title of the song is Basalt. And you only ever find the song in one place. And it was for the Iron Man 3 trailer. Like that to this day is still one of my favorite tracks that I've ever heard, it like the track is just so perfect that it's just like, okay, I could listen to this like in every conceivable moment of life and it'll work. So
Hannah Omega's got a good point calling out The Matrix. The Matrix was pretty damn good. The first one and Reloaded. That they had really good scores. Maybe not necessarily soundtracks, but scores. They definitely have really good ones. Big Kuna's bringing up the Karate Kid soundtrack. So is he thinking of Bananarama and Cruel Summer, or is he thinking more of the entire score? I don't know. We'd have to ask him.
Both actually for Karate Kid, because if you look at the way they used a lot of the classic songs from the Karate Kid soundtrack in Cobra Kai.
Yes,
dude, like
especially when they did the trailer for season 2 with the remix of Cruel Summer. That was good.
And then they ended the season 2 with that song. So I mean, it's like there's a lot of creative. I wouldn't so much say creative license, but a lot of creativity being exposed and utilized for that particular series, using a lot of those songs. Just and even I even have to point at Us, like the way that Jordan Peele was able to take the song "I Got Five on It."
I got 5 on
Yo, everybody was trying to find that song, dude. After that trailer,
I mean, he made it. So, because all he did is he just slowed it down and spread it out a little bit, and it was flawless. And I love the fact that they had a fight scene. I don't care if you've seen the movie or not, spoilers, whatever.
It's been a while, so yeah.
They had a fight scene timed to that version of the song, and it was just perfect. And it was like you could feel like the rage and the anger coming out of her when she was trying to fight her double, because her double was just 2 steps ahead of her throughout the entire fight. I was like, okay, I like this.
Yo, man.
A lot of the rest of the movie was kind of annoying, but I like that.
So
that film had. Well, I love the score for that film, but also I just think I think the movie was great too. Like, but talking about innovation and like amazing things, Do the Right Thing. Great soundtrack, great movie, and it is also its 30th anniversary this year. So we have to give big props up to Do the Right Thing and Spike Lee and all that kind of stuff, because that is amazing work.
Speaking of anime soundtracks, right? And I know this one.
Do the Right Thing is not anime.
No. I'm just saying in general. Like, so speaking of anime soundtracks, since they were mentioning it over there in on YouTube, and I know both Dido and GQ can get behind this one. The original Ghost in the Shell soundtrack for the movie was actually pretty damn good too.
Not for me.
Especially that one,
It was the one.
It was mostly the one song.
It was that one 16,000-minute song. That was the only good song. Because that's all they kept doing, is just kept playing versions of that song throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
So really, the Ghost in the Shell score was like one song that they just cut up and kept spreading it out throughout the entire movie. Because damn it, there was some parts in that movie that were so long and boring and dull. And I'm just like, y'all just showing off animation. That's all y'all are doing.
They pretty much were doing that. Yeah,
it was very much a thought-provoking supposed movie. But like for me, like my classics from the 80s, what they call the golden age of anime in the early 90s, I guess. There's not many anime soundtracks I can say, oh Lord, just super great. Besides Macross Plus, I thought was great. Like seriously, despite me, kind of like, I like the music. Yoko Kanno, I'm just kind of like, oh, is she a genius?
He's
or
so
is
torn.
She not?
He's so torn. Just give her a props, man.
I love Macross Plus's soundtrack.
Props,
but like Ranma 1/2, I love the freaking almost every single opening and ending. I love for that. I got okay.
I'll say one thing for you. Man. Nostalgia is a hell of a drug.
It sure is.
Some of that stuff did not age well.
And I still like it.
Yeah,
I still like it. I still like season 1. Still like season 3. I still like the Queen ripoff. They have season 6 or 7. Literally, if you listen to it, it sounds like something that you think Queen would have done in Japanese, ripped off. I still like it. I still like the what is it called? Is it Tsunade Platonic or something like that? Like Let's Be Platonic. It's the ending to the first season of Ranma 1/2. I still love that song, and I also still like go back in my memory when you watch those friggin' anime on the videotapes and Viz is showing the other stuff. And you got Mermaid Scar showing, and I love the friggin' violin piece for Mermaid Scar.
My man is literally,
you can say
he's literally going through a time warp right now.
But it's like all that stuff in my head. I love it. Love it. Love it.
Yeah. So, do you have that soundtrack? Because I do.
For Ranma 1/2?
Uh-huh.
I have one of them where it was like all the openings, and I had one that had all the endings, but I lost that CD.
I got the score with the background music. I got the score with the background music.
It out.
I got the score with the background music. So I know you'd want it. So nobody mentioned and I'm very Project Echo soundtrack was good, but I'm very surprised at both you and GQ for not mentioning the score for Transformers the movie. Y'all know that thing was fire. Y'all know that thing was fire.
Was. That's also on this thing. So I listened.
Hold on
to that one too. This guy does. He has all of them.
I have both of them, but what I'm saying is Transformers the movie soundtrack is actually really, really, really good because it included a lot of stuff from the score. Because the score was just remixed and remastered versions of stuff from the cartoon. Another anime I liked that had a really cool soundtrack was Escaflowne.
Yes, another Yoko Kanno.
Yeah, that was also Yoko Kanno.
Yeah. So and John P mentioning Bubblegum Crisis was also another really great classic anime soundtrack. But I digress. We spent a lot on this topic. We could be talking about this stuff forever. So let's move along. And I got a challenge I'm going to ask you guys. So the question I have for you all is, so the question I got for you all, and this is going to be tough, right? I'm asking all of you guys out there and all my friends right here in the panel, what is the most iconic theme of the last 15 years? Now, 15 years, like dating back from right here, so that takes you back to 2004. So that automatically eliminates anything from Star Wars, anything from, John Williams, anything from Star Trek, except for anything that was brought out after 2004. So that still means the MCU is in place.
2004 doesn't eliminate Star Wars. Sorry.
Yeah, all of the original John Williams stuff, it does. So I'm talking like original compositions. I'm talking the original compositions when it was first brought out. I'm not talking about it being played in the movie being forward. So just play along. Play along. Play along.
I mean, playing along.
Something original.
The rules are flawed.
No, it's not flawed. I'm asking you something that originated from the last 15 years.
Yeah,
John
Williams did new Star Wars music within the
last but it wasn't years. The theme. I said theme. I didn't say Star Wars music. I said theme. So we're talking Rey's theme. That's fine. Finn's theme. That's fine.
Okay.
Poe's theme.
You've never heard a little thing called Battle of Heroes.
No, that's fine. No, all that stuff is in play. But I'm talking like the original Star Wars theme, the Imperial March, something new.
Again,
anything
like
new.
I said, a lot of the thing you can't just blanketly say that eliminates John Williams Star Wars because
this guy. Anyway, man, look,
I'm just letting you know.
Fine. What is the most iconic theme in the last 15 years?
That's his thing. Come on, like, let's move this along.
Right. So the most iconic theme in the last 15 years. If you had to pick one, go.
One.
Yep. The most iconic. One. Tough, ain't it?
The most iconic, if I have to pick one, it's going to be Stranger Things because I get hyped every time I hear it. And that's just like off the top of my head.
Okay.
But I would like to have at least 5.
I'm gonna go with one. I might open it up later, but just one. Just one.
I don't know. I had to think. I mean, like I said, off the top of my head, definitely Stranger Things because, like, when I hear like the Burger King commercial or it's like an ice cream commercial,
what
commercials that have like Stranger Things theme song in, and I'm just like, oh, I'm ready. But
okay. So like now look, like we got some good ones in the chat. I'll read some off, right? So a good one in the chat, like John P picked one. He's like the Justice League Unlimited theme is the most iconic to him. And that's not a bad choice. It's not a bad choice. Let's see. Akil Justfu Brewer said the Boondocks theme, which is also really good. I love the Boondocks theme. The Boondocks theme is pretty dope.
Kind of Omega says Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, which is I'm kind of surprised you didn't say that one. I'm kind of surprised you didn't say that one.
That's what comes off like in the top of my head, like. Stranger Things just off top. It was boom.
Okay. Let's see another one. Trying to think. Obviously,
that was Sylvester Portals.
Several people are also saying the Avengers theme, which I don't know what that is. I can't recall that.
Portals basically plays the Avengers theme in it, so technically, I guess it kind of counts. But the Avengers theme itself, most people say.
Portals works because it takes every version of the Avengers theme and it combines them into one.
So, I mean, that's fine. Shinlo says the Walking Dead theme, which that's a damn good one, too. That's a damn good one, too.
I haven't watched Walking Dead in so long.
Me too. Me either. By the way, did you guys know that the Walking Dead comic ended today? Like, surprised everybody? Just like completely surprised everybody. Just ended today. Nobody knew it was going to end today, but Kirkman was like, "Nope, it's done." Hand of Omega mentioned the Penny Dreadful soundtrack or music. The theme. I haven't seen that either. Tony Young on his mama's tablet. See, this is how dedicated our top fan Tony Young is. His phone dies on Facebook. He goes, grabs his mama's tablet, hops over to YouTube, and starts chatting. So he said the Adventure Time theme is a good one.
No, the bacon pancakes theme is the best song ever.
Yeah.
I have to throw out there that I have a sweet spot. I have a soft spot for the Daredevil and Jessica Jones theme. I think both of those themes are awesome.
I'm definitely with you on the Daredevil one. Not necessarily so much.
I mean, Jessica Jones arguably is pretty good out of all of them. It's the only one that has won a daytime Emmy, or is it a primetime Emmy or a daytime? I think it's primetime Emmy. Yeah, they won an Emmy for their theme song.
How can they categorize it for either daytime or primetime when you can watch it whenever you want?
Exactly.
The content, because
it's mature.
Rated.
Okay.
Because if it was on regular TV, it would be shown at night. It wouldn't be shown in the daytime.
I don't know. It depends on the time slot they decide to give it.
I guarantee you, ain't no Jessica Jones gonna be played in no daytime TV.
Hey, HBO 2. I found out about the HBO 2 channel when all of a sudden Beverly Hills Cop came on in the middle of the day one day. So I want to hear it.
It's not gonna happen. No.
This dude Kahuna says Baby Shark. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Mommy Shark.
Wow, get out of here. Yeah.
Albert said Kung Fury.
Okay. That's an out of the box pick, but okay.
And then Super Nerd said Doctor Who's theme.
So wait, was that new? The new Doctor Who's theme, is that new? I wouldn't know. I'm not up on Doctor Who.
I'm not a Who fan.
You know what I'm gonna throw out there? Luther from the BBC show Luther. Mm-hmm. I love that theme song. It's from one of my favorite groups. I love it. It's great.
Okay. All right. He said he was kidding. He said he was kidding.
Stephanie said she's going with the Cheers theme, even though it's more than 15 years ago.
Yeah, whatever, man.
Mr. Belvedere.
Come on now. Wow.
No,
Wow.
disqualified.
Let's not. Come on now.
Dido and Stephanie are disqualified.
Disqualified.
Mr. Belvedere.
Completely disqualified.
The new Star Trek theme, the 2009 Star Trek theme, and I like all of the Star Trek theme songs from the last 3 movies. So
yeah.
all of
So
them.
Michael Giacchino was also someone that we didn't really talk about much, and we should have, because he actually
The Hand of Omega talked about him.
He did, and I totally agree with him. I thought I thought his stuff, his contributions were really great. And yes, the 2009 theme for Star Trek I thought was really good. Didn't necessarily lean too much on the classic soundtrack. He kind of really came up with his own. And I thought it was really good. So
The violins, any song with violins.
so no
Right
you don't think the Westworld theme is particularly iconic, Mianya?
I love it. Yeah.
But you don't think it.
It didn't come up in my, like, you told me I had one. I just named a bunch of other things, but I had one, so I went with Stranger Things.
Okay. So for me, without question, the Avengers theme is the most iconic. Although Game of Thrones gives it a very close run. But I just find the Avengers theme, even if you don't think the score for the movie is very good, which some people probably might not, but that theme is something else. Yeah, I know you are. I definitely know you are. We've had this discussion before.
Like,
yeah,
I don't find
I know you are.
Exciting or anything at all. It's just
it's not okay. It's not about being exciting. It's not about being exciting. It's the crescendo. It's the feeling, the epicness of the moment that you get just from hearing that song. Like literally, so that's how it is.
What you just explained is excitement. I'm just saying. Like, there's other songs and other things that are better.
I'll put it to you this way, Miao Yin. The Avengers theme has such nuance in it that I can tell you could play any version of it, and I can tell you exactly what's happening in the film just from that version. That's to me, that means that the theme is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. It brings up an exact thought, an exact feeling, an exact memory.
And like, yes, absolutely.
That's because I'm a superior being, so like, that's one part of it. But the other part of it is it brings out, that's what it does. So,
right. Because, like, look, I'll say
you have to feel that way.
There's only 3 other, or maybe 3 or 4 other themes that rival, that elicit those same feelings out of you. There's the Raiders March from... Let me finish. Stop interrupting. The Raiders March. The Raiders March from Indiana Jones. The Imperial March from Star Wars. John Williams' Superman theme. And the Avengers theme are the only ones that have ever that get you like that. Like, you hear those.
None of those do anything for me. That's what I'm saying.
I swear I think something's wrong with this woman. I think something's wrong with her, man. I think there's a screw loose.
No,
anyway, so like
those are all good themes, but I don't think that they're
like, here's a good contrast, right? Like Alan Silvestri's Avengers theme is iconic. Danny Elfman did the score for Avengers Age of Ultron. His Avengers theme wasn't anywhere close to being the same thing or being iconic. It's not even on the same level, you know. And I don't know if that may make the movie a little bit less for me, because the soundtrack wasn't as good as, like, say, the first, or even Infinity War, or even Endgame. It's almost like Ultron was almost like an abortion. You know what I mean? It's just like, okay, I know it was probably a poor choice of words, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Yes. I will say this. So how you guys feel about the Avengers theme, I feel about the Wonder Woman theme. Like, when I hear the Wonder Woman theme song, when I hear that those drums and stuff like that, it touches a certain place for me. But those
Right.
other things,
Okay.
it just doesn't have that same thing for me.
Okay.
And I think just because it's, I don't know, it just doesn't.
And I get you, and I totally get you with that. And you know, I have to admit, when I first heard that theme, I didn't know if I was gonna like it. When it first played in Batman vs Superman, I didn't know if I would like it. But I have to admit, when she popped on the scene and the music started playing, I was like, okay, yeah, I like this. Okay, I like it.
And that's like literally that is my favorite part of Batman versus Superman. Like when they play that and she comes.
Lord knows they didn't give you many things to like about it.
Let's not go on with that. But, so that it just gave me wonder and it just gave me that feeling. And any other time that they've played it in any other movie, I'm just like,
you almost flash back into that scene, right? Yeah. I got you.
I understand that that's how people feel about the Avengers theme, but I'm just like, for me, it's just like, okay, it's a certain part of the movie. Like, it's a transition point for me more than it's a hype feeling.
Okay, but again, I like the Wonder Woman theme too, and it would have had even more impact had that been the very first time we ever seen that costume. But I get what you're saying because it's such a jarring change from what was going on, and it does have a resonance to it. But to me, that's the same thing with the Avengers theme. The Avengers theme, the same way the drums build up for Wonder Woman, and they can slowly work that violin in there, is the exact same way that the trumpets and everything work for the Avengers. It just starts off as this little small thing, and it just ramps up to a moment. Like Thor showing up in Wakanda was still...
That was one of the most kick-ass moments ever.
Versions of that thing.
Yes.
It's just like...
That's probably one of the only times when that theme is played that I actually get chills. All the rest of them, I don't have any feelings.
I'm so surprised because, like, literally... I felt goosebumps when that music played in the first Avengers movie. It was crazy.
I didn't.
I was
underwhelmed,
wow.
I know that
you were underwhelmed. Is that what you said? You were underwhelmed.
This is not the first time I've said that.
Wow.
This is not the first time I've said that.
You can't make everybody right, so I mean that's
right.
fine. She can
I get it.
She can have her opinion.
It's just it's just how I felt. I was just like, okay. I mean, that was cool.
Okay.
That's fine. Because like I said, Avengers is still the ringtone for my phone. The original one from 2012 was there, and up until it got replaced by Thor showing up in Wakanda version. Because
so you haven't. So you didn't put Portals on there as yours? Like just
Portals is too long of a build up to be a. Well,
just cut it to the important part. Just cut it to the important part.
It doesn't work that way because that part has this pause in it.
Man, come on, man! You got video editing software. You can cut that song anyway.
The pause, it doesn't sound right if you change the pause. Yes.
We're talking about like ringtones. Like my ringtone is so amazing right now. It is actually the theme for Archer. It's amazing. I love when my phone rings. Okay. I really do.
I know a lot of people
because Archer is a great thing. I don't care what anybody says. Archer for a TV show, an animated TV show at that, is an amazing song. I love it.
It is
because it's like the whole. Yeah, it's like the whole spy thing. What is it? James Bondy kind of quirky kind of thing, all into one thing, and that's why I love Archer's theme song. Yeah, that's my ringtone.
You want to talk about theme songs for characters classic that got redone that I really loved? And GQ probably remembers this too, but remember at the end of Casino Royale when James shot out Mr. White's leg and you had the build up to his theme? That was cold. That was probably one of my favorite parts of Casino Royale. That was really cold.
Doesn't count. So older than 15 years. Somebody's phone must be on vibrate because I didn't hear no Archer.
Try again.
Hey man, we ain't trying to get flagged. Don't do that. We ain't trying to get flagged.
Well, it won't. What you doing here? It's not. If it's less than 10 seconds, it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mildred said that her phone theme is from Wild Arms.
It's not Mildred. That's Tony Young.
Well, again, shows up as Mildred.
You talking about the original Wild Arms? Oh yeah, I love that. The whistle. You know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Now, see, Hannah Omega said he didn't really love Hans Zimmer's work on the Dark Knight trilogy because he said everything was just too atmospheric. And honestly, to me, I definitely liked his Dark Knight theme. That the theme that he had for Batman, I thought it was really well done. Very much in the same manner that that his Man of Steel soundtrack set off for me. Thought it was really good.
I can get that a little bit, but both of those themes, like I think it's because they had such iconic original themes from like our childhood, so they're kind of ingrained in our brain, hardwired in. So it's like for me, the Man of Steel is like the dome dome. It's like when I hear other people cover it, it sounds awesome. When I hear the actual version from the movie, I'm just like,
really?
I wish this movie was better.
Really?
It's okay. For example, remember when they did that 75-year tribute to Superman, and they had the mixture of all of the various stuff throughout? The version that they played in there where they sampled Man of Steel was perfect because it was like it kind of fit in with all the other ones that they were doing. When you get to the actual movie, you're just like, damn, this is taking too long. It's just, and again, I get what you're saying because it's like, okay, the first time they play it and the build up for it, it kind of works, but it's just like, I guess because it was just, for me, the film could have been better in so many different ways. We won't even get into that. And then when you get into Batman, it's like Batman's theme in those films is just kind of like, I'm not going to say it's lazy because it brought energy to certain scenes, but like when they were just suddenly just the den, it's like after a while you're just sitting there like, damn, they could have did more than that because that's really. I think from what I'm feeling from that is probably the exact same thing that Miao Yin is feeling with Avengers. It doesn't connect as strongly as I feel it should.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I can get with that. But no, I mean, there's so many great iconic themes that we can mention, but honestly, to me, like the Avengers theme stands out heads and shoulders above pretty much anything made in the last 15 years that was original. Now we talked a lot about movies. Are there any game themes that came out in the last 15 years that kind of stand out and are memorable to you guys?
The theme song
I guess Mass Effect. I suppose Mass Effect counts. I suppose. Yeah. I knew she was gonna say it too.
It's a specific song, and it's gosh, is it Mass Effect 2 or is it the first one? It's not the third one, but it's like this song that they play at the end of it. I think it's the first one. It's the original, and that is their theme song, and I love it. It's a good track. Yeah, that's mine. And Crash Bandicoot.
But Crash is older than.
Oh yeah, that is older.
That's straight up 90s. That's like 20 years. Good.
Yeah, that is 20 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna definitely say.
Actually, no, that's more than 20 years because this soundtrack is 20 years ago.
Which one, Jet Set?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dreamcast came out in 1998.
That's true. Now, one of my favorites, not necessarily a video game theme, was Sephiroth's theme from Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. Sephiroth,
which I think was that 2004 or was it
2005?
2005. Okay, so
in Japan, 2006 over here.
Yeah, so that's still in play.
Oh, I already know it. Because damn it, it's Sephiroth, and that theme was amazing. The One Wing Angel.
I can tell you. Sorry, One Wing Angel was really good.
One Wing Angel was good, but it doesn't count. Now, so 2004 is that around the time that Kingdom Hearts 2 came out? Because wouldn't Dearly Beloved fall from Kingdom Hearts be also in there? I know a lot of people really love that theme. Dearly Beloved from Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts came out in 2005.
Yes, I guess that could count.
Yeah.
I don't know. I need Kingdom. I'm gonna need Disney to kick Square in the butt and put out a Kingdom Hearts 4 that includes Star Wars and Marvel characters.
I don't know, man. I think after 3 and its kind of tepid reception, I don't know if they're gonna.
I don't care about 3. I don't care. This is what I want. I don't care about the rest of that. What I want them to do so they can get it done right.
Okay.
Because the idea of Kingdom Hearts is cool. It's just I don't think I'm ever going to play any of them.
I love the Kingdom Hearts series, but I haven't played 3 yet.
I'm waiting for 3 to
waiting
drop
for
to
that $20.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to drop to $20. Now, does God of War have a very iconic or good enough theme to really be remembered? I can't really, if it's not standing out to me, I can't.
God of War has amazing music.
I don't know about the new one because I haven't played it yet, but the older ones, I think the God of War 1, 2, 3, and the subsequent spin-offs or side stories all has the main theme that started in the first God of War, and it does have that that it's really it's freaking hardcore.
That theme, the actual true main theme of the game, like that kind of play with the horn or whatever, that's cool. But my favorite music, and it's only used 2 times in the original game, is the fight with the Minotaur. And it's also reused for the theme is also reused when you have to get through that room of traps and conveyor belts and whatnot. Mm-hmm. That music is so good. Like I used to just sit back and just listen to that on loop because it gets you in this weird mood. It's almost like smoking peyote or something. You're just sitting back just in a dream state. It's weird.
What? Wow.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Dude, I've been watching whatchamacallit. I've been watching Legends of Tomorrow, so they was talking about the Layla route. So that's the closest thing to peyote, I guess.
All right, I got you. Let's see another good soundtrack.
I'll find the track and put it in the chat because that track is awesome.
Now I know a lot of people really love the Final Fantasy 15 soundtrack. I love the Final Fantasy 13 soundtrack.
I don't even remember any of those.
Wow.
Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild to me has some really gosh darn good music, and 2 tracks specifically, Terrytown and Rito Village. Those 2 get stuck in my head all the time. I really like Rito Village.
Tony Young says the Temple of Pandora.
You ever heard of Temple of Pandora?
I think that was from God of War.
Oh, is that what it's called? Oh, Simple and Clean. Oh yeah, Simple and Clean is that deal. Mm-hmm.
All right, just dropped it in YouTube. About to drop it in Facebook, so y'all can.
And I also like I'm listening to like games I've been playing recently. The songs are stuck in my head. A lot of people. I don't really know many people who've played The Binding of Isaac yet. It is extremely popular, but just in my group, I don't think anybody's ever played it. But the Burning Basement thing they call it in Binding of Isaac, I really like that song. It gets stuck in my head quite often.
Okay.
Do you guys know a game called Transistor?
Heard of it?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I haven't played it.
That has an amazing theme song. If I'm going to try to find it really quick and I'll drop it in one of the chats. It's a really good theme song.
Hey, you know what also has a really good soundtrack that did come out after 2004? I believe. I could be wrong about it. Wait a minute. Maybe Dido could tell me. Did Rez come out after 2004?
More than likely, if I remember correctly, Rez did. Rez had dope ass soundtrack.
Yes,
I still got Rez. I still got Rez in my on my phone too. I listen to that quite often. But no, it came out apparently in 2001 for the Sega Dreamcast.
It was re-released though.
It did get re-released on PlayStation 4 recently, so yeah, maybe you could throw that in there. I mean, originally it was 2001.
Yeah. I like Vib Ribbon. Even though
Vib Ribbon too, but Vib Ribbon was great because you put your own soundtrack in it.
Right.
A lot of really good choices. So,
there's way too many of them. I mean, I look at my games over there and I try to what made me feel like, ooh.
Mike Fabian just joined the show on our Facebook channel and was like that Rocket League soundtrack though. I haven't really played Rocket League, and I've played it. Obviously, I played it. I don't play it like that to really remember the music, but I know the game was fun. The game was a lot of fun, and if he's saying it has really, really tight music, that might definitely be worth playing often. Let's see. Are there any other TV shows of recent history that have really great soundtracks? Like, I remember someone brought up the Big Bang Theory theme. I don't know, man. That song,
it's a catchy theme song.
It's a catchy theme, but God, it's so annoying. For some reason, whatever reason, I find that thing so annoying. The theme, I find it very annoying. I don't know.
I'm at the point where I find the show annoying. So.
Same. I'm so glad it's over. Couldn't end soon enough.
Well, they have young Shelton now, so it's not really over.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's a whole different thing.
Yeah, well,
unfortunately, since 15 years is cut off, you can't include Animaniacs or DuckTales.
Nope. You could include new DuckTales, though, if you want it.
Oh, hell no. No. There's only one DuckTales.
Tony Young says the Voltron reboots theme.
That's all right.
Yeah, it's okay. Okay. The Adventures of Gumball.
Is Mr. Robot. I
Mr.
really
Robot.
like the music.
Well, that show can still come on.
Yeah.
The new season is about to come out.
Yeah.
I don't know when, but it's sometime this year.
Is it going to be like the last one I heard? It's going to be the last season? Yeah.
It's going to be last season.
That seems to happen a lot for USC. USA has some really fantastic shows, but they never seem to last very long. They become very critically acclaimed.
My favorite show on USA was Suits. That had a good theme, and freaking what's her name had to go get married. We could have held off for at least another 4 or 5 years.
4 or 5 years, or go become one of the Duchesses of England. I think that's an easy choice to make.
Duchesses don't do nothing. Man, come on. The Queen's been alive longer than all of us, and she's going to outlast some of us possibly with her old self. She ain't going nowhere.
Probably.
She's probably gonna find a Fountain of Youth from Pirates of the Caribbean and sacrifice one of her sons and get the rest of their lives.
Pirates of the Caribbean, talking about a theme that's actually pretty dope.
Yeah, I love Pirates of the Caribbean.
He's a pirate. Basically the Jack Sparrow theme, great one. That is a great one. That's your boy Harry Gregson Williams too.
Yeah, all the music in that movie is good.
Yeah, that was a great one. Let's see. Tony Young saying the second theme from Overlord. I think the anime Overlord. I know a lot. Some people
we ain't
would
talking
say
anime yet, huh? Have we?
Yeah.
Oh god darn it! You
I know a lot of people
anime.
would say Attack on Titans first theme was pretty good.
I mean, it was okay, but I really like Full Metal Alchemist. The Not Brotherhood, the first season of that one gets stuck in my head. GTO, both seasons of GTO. I think was good.
That's prior to. Well, I guess
shit no more.
Oh, why this
Pull
guy?
out the woodwork.
This guy.
Talk about stuff. I ain't trying to. 14 years, too hard. Just talk about this good stuff.
I actually said 15 years, but okay.
It is older. GTO is older than 14 years, but I love it. But Full Metal Alchemist, I don't think is older than 14 years. The first season of the first series of Full Metal Alchemist. What you call it? Oh, come on. Death Note. Friggin' Maximum the Hormone had a pretty good what you call it in there.
I think what's it called Sword Art Online, the first theme.
Detroit Metal City. How can I forget Detroit Metal City?
Yeah.
Yes. Detroit Metal City. All you need is a lower body. Kahanshin Sai Arubari. That song right there.
Let's see. I know a lot of the themes from My Hero Academia are pretty good as well. A lot of people like that the Dragon Ball Super theme from the Tournament of Power. A lot of people like that one. Yeah, it's kind of catchy, I have to admit.
It is. I don't like it in English, so I heard it in English.
I hate it when they do that. I hate it so much when they do that. It's so bad. It's so bad.
Dubs are fine for people who want to watch dubs.
Yeah.
I used to watch dubs, and
just don't do
some
the songs.
dubs are nostalgic for me.
Just don't do the
songs. Just don't sound right.
Like if you're gonna do it, do like what they did with Rock the Dragon. Like they just completely made it a completely original song. Yeah. They didn't try and cover the Japanese theme song with the words translated. It just makes no sense. Mm-hmm. Like when they're doing it, just makes no sense. It doesn't sound right. But
dragon, watch the dragon.
That would, and honestly, that kind of fits, doesn't it?
Yeah.
No, Rock the Dragon came out before that. I
really like the guitar riffs in that. Yeah, big time.
That was a great song. That was a great redone theme. That was really well done. Like, whoever made the decision to do that, they did a damn good job. That was good. One Punch from One Punch Man. I know a lot of people really liked.
I like the first season One Punch Man opening. The second season, second
season's been kind of whack, man. I know.
I still enjoy it. I don't care what the hell everybody else is saying.
Because
the first season, second
season is just poorly animated.
I don't care.
Cheaply done.
People get too much caught up into that shit. Is it telling a good story? Yes, to me it is. I don't like it. Okay, good. You don't like it. I'm enjoying it. I watched one of the newest episodes today, and I'm like, this boy Garu is freaking, what you call it? And then Bang showed up. I'm like, oh shit, son. But I think Bang is gonna lose. I just know
you need to go ahead and give Attack on Titan another watch, dude.
The third season, I've watched it.
The third season's been fire, dude.
If the third season, that's the newest one. When it's done, I'll watch it.
Third season has. That's
where I'm at. That's where I'm at, because they actually were explaining shit, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, what's going on? You stupid ass royal family, and there's all this stuff.
The third season has been fire, dude. It's been really good. Really.
All right, I'll check it out. All right.
I don't know, if we're sticking with recent stuff though, like I like the Iron Man 3 theme. For Iron Man's theme. I
can even remember that.
I like the Guardians of the Galaxy.
I remember that. I
also like the theme for
Doctor Strange.
No, Doctor Strange it's not really a memorable theme specifically for him. I like the Far From Home. I like Spider-Man's new theme.
The one that they did in the movie that I'm getting ready to watch tomorrow that we're not going to talk about. That one.
No, just in general, like the Far From Home and the Homecoming theme are the same thing.
Okay,
that's Peter's theme basically.
All right.
I like them. Okay. So they're well done.
All right. Tony Young, of course, had to bring up Outlaw Star from back in the day. Of course, one of the greatest animated of all time.
I love the theme song for Outlaw Star as well.
Yeah, no, but. If we're talking a theme song that had literally no lyrics, the one that slaps for me is Trigun, because the guitar riffs. That
HT,
yes, yeah. That thing was incredible. I
wish it was longer.
Yes, that thing was incredible. It was great.
I like to hear it long.
Well, if we're talking best anime themes ever, then Do It Now is the best anime theme ever.
Oh yeah, that the ADV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
That was to this day still one of the best. Do It Now, and it wasn't even a theme. It was a good advertising.
It was a hell of a good hype track, man.
That was also something that might have been ripped off too, though.
Yeah, it was a hell of a good hype track. I'm not gonna lie, hell of a good hype track.
Another theme I like that was also only used for one thing is High Finesse's Odyssey, that was used for the Marvel Phase 3 reveal. What is it, D23 or whatever show it was a couple years before Infinity War was originally announced. Yeah, Odyssey is awesome.
All right, cool. So we're gonna get ready to wrap up the show. But real quick, I mean, I know I said we're not really gonna talk about it, and so we're not gonna talk about it. But Love Not Link, you need to come and check out the show a little bit earlier, man. You're checking it, always catching us at the tail end. We love having you here, but try and come and join us a little bit earlier. And yes, Tony Young, Cowboy Bebop does count.
Get that subscribe and notification.
Oh, he already did. He did that the last time the last time he checked in, he did his with the subscribe. So definitely, come and check us out and watch the replay. It was a really great show.
Always watch the replay because we have so much watch the replay. So.
Exactly. And we're gonna for Hand of Omega Ultra was the KMFDM song used in a lot of the anime adverts.
Mm-hmm. And yes, Tony Young.
Oh, that was in Street Fighter the movie. First time I heard
yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Yep, in the dub version only.
Mm-hmm. That's what makes that soundtrack stand out to me. Like, because of all the songs that they picked to use in Street Fighter 2, the movie. Really good stuff.
Yep.
Them Bones was
Them Bones. First time I heard Them Bones was in Street Fighter.
I love the fact that they played it in real time too.
Yes.
Like they literally started playing the song. He's driving and he has this little flashback. And by the time he almost hits that truck, it's still technically playing because it was supposed to be on the radio. I'm like, that's smart editing. That was actually really well played.
Very smart editing. Very smart editing. Let's see. So I know we're not going to talk about it. So Independence Day. I know she's trying to be cute. That makes me think of Will Smith's movie and stuff like that. ID4.
I mean, definitely. That's what you watch tomorrow.
That's the sequel. No. Why? Don't watch that. Don't watch the sequel either. No. I'm going to watch Spider-Man tomorrow. I don't know about you. I'm not watching no ID4.
You can do both.
No.
Yeah, welcome to Earth.
Yeah, no. Welcome to Earth. Welcome to Earth. Anyway, so I'm getting ready to go see Spider-Man tomorrow. I haven't seen it yet.
Haters.
But I wanted to ask you guys. So if you had to, I'm just going to ask you for a ballpark, right? So we know that a lot of the singular Marvel, MCU movies haven't necessarily been the greatest as of late. Captain Marvel included. I mean, it was a good movie, but come on now, let's be honest. It wasn't all that. But
what are you asking here?
I'm asking, was Spider-Man Far From Home, as Megashawn has said in our Facebook group, one of their best entries that they've ever done? No spoilers, obviously. Just I want to build up.
I think it was done very gosh darn good. Very, very good, darn good. Very, very.
I didn't really have any problem with Captain Marvel because the character is just as bland as she is in the comics. So they got that exactly right.
My understanding, that's not Captain Marvel in the comics. But I don't really know about the comics.
It kind of actually
is. It? I thought it was Monica Rambeau, or is it?
There we go.
No,
that's who I thought Captain Marvel.
That's the original or whatever. But
no, it's not the original either.
Right well,
I thought she was
the original woman.
Yes, the original female. But what I'm saying is, going off of what's in the books from Civil War II and all that, that's Carol. That's exactly how she is.
That's pretty much
it.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Carol
says Far From Home is good, better than Captain Marvel, not as good as Infinity War / Endgame. Would you agree with that?
Nothing is. That's right. Unfair. You can't.
Yeah, that's totally unfair.
Compare these things though. Why compare those?
Excuse me. Have you met us? Do you not know who we are? Do you not know how we get down? We love comparing stuff.
No,
that's what makes it fun.
And that's what I was about to say. I don't know what you're talking about because
you're on an island on that one.
We love comparing stuff.
I'm talking.
No, I compare like things. You can't compare Infinity War and Endgame. Like you have to compare those to Justice League because that's the only thing that's supposed to be similar. You can't compare like a single standalone Marvel movie to Infinity War or Endgame.
No.
Or even a regular Avengers or Age of Ultron. Like they're not in the same league.
Wow. John P says Spider-Man is a side story, not a main event. Think Ant-Man level. Wow. Damn.
Nah, disagree.
Damn. John P said
disagree because it completely freaking not only shows you what happened after the snap, and I'm talking about the second snap.
Yep. Even though it's kind of himself, basically.
Yeah, it shows you a little bit of what's going on with that and answers questions for people who had questions. It's not really a side story.
It front loads all those damn YouTube videos and internet theories and whatnot. It's like, look, we're gonna nip all this in the bud right now.
I love it when they do that. I absolutely love it when they do that.
So
kill those theories.
But that's what they expect to do. Like it's always like every Marvel movie is a stepping stone to the next one. That's how I've always looked at it. It's always continuing the story.
I understand that, but what I love about it is...
I'm not saying that you didn't say anything wrong.
No, I never say anything wrong. But what I'm saying is, in this regard, is I love the fact that they basically were obviously thinking all of this stuff through. All these people were thinking of all these little goofy little things of, what about this? What about that?
I love the way he's saying that, too. That's great.
This movie is like, look, damn it. First 5 minutes, shut the hell up. Boom. Here's all your
Sweet.
answers.
Love it. Love it.
So
love it. So Head of Omega says it's better than Ant-Man, but not as good as Doctor Strange or Thor Ragnarok. Really? Do you agree with that?
What? Who?
Head of Omega said that.
Well, see, that's something that I would ride with because I love Doctor Strange and Thor Ragnarok. So that's
I like Thor Ragnarok a lot.
Yeah.
Those are things that I rewatch. There are several Marvel movies that I will not rewatch because I'm just like, I've seen it.
No, I watch them all. because damn it, they're good. But no,
Yes, they are.
Dido and I
They're
agree
okay.
on this, and I'm not going to say it fully, but there is some work in this movie that is on a whole nother level of just, damn it, why couldn't some other movies use some ideas like this?
Dude.
There's some stuff in there like that is just like,
Don't. You're about to say
I'm not saying
don't.
anything. All I'm saying is there are studios out there that should have been able to take something that was done in this movie and apply it to somebody in their freaking world, and it'd have been like, they can't do it now. They literally can't.
I have questions
So,
offline
are-
now. I have
Yeah,
questions.
I have.
They'll be
I'm not
ripping
even
it
going to
off
ask
completely.
questions. I don't want to hear these questions, but I know you're poking fun at
No, no,
DC,
it's-
and I love it.
again.
I love it.
No, that's fine, but it's just like it's on another level.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
I
just
was
like-
literally, Sean and I were literally sitting. Megan, Sean and I were sitting there like, holy shit, they went.
Yeah.
really
I love it. This is awesome.
So
Is
yeah,
I love
this
it.
other studio, what does the letter begin with?
I don't
Is
know,
it
it's
an
not
F
even about
or a
that.
W?
No, it's not even about that. It's no. Okay, here's just real quick. Remember how Doctor Strange took it way past anything you expected? You go into Doctor Strange, you're like, okay, they're gonna do a little bit of effect here and there. They're gonna do the Inception thing.
Yeah,
When they went to the thing when she
completely mind.
right when she knocked him out of his body and took him on that crazy acid trip,
That junk was crazy.
it was like you just like, dude, this is insane. And I feel like I'm like bugging out. This movie, Spider-Man, goes on that level of just, oh damn, they went there and
Really?
oh my god, it's perfect. Yeah.
Yo.
You'll see.
You'll see
That's
it.
all. That's
Yo.
all
You can come back and talk.
I'm getting super hyped now. I'm getting like so super hyped.
Dido and I did not go to the same show, and that was the first thing we both was talking about. Like, oh, that was amazing.
Yeah, I was just like,
Oh,
wait a
man, I
freaking
can't wait
minute. And I
now.
was like, man, they missed their opportunity again,
Dude.
and Marvel just took it right from them. And
Oh
they-
my god.
a
I can't
character
wait.
has
Like my
done
mind is
something
blown.
Like this. Oh,
My mind is
gosh.
blown right now.
I mean,
Like my mind is
I'm
super
putting
blown
it
right
in
now. I
I'm
can't.
putting
I
it
haven't
I
seen
feel
the
like
movie.
there's several cheergasms going on right
Oh
now.
no, there's about
Yeah.
because you guys know me. If a character that I've never cared about is suddenly interesting to me, that means that they did a damn good job because they did it with Thor. Never was a big Thor fan, and Hemsworth knocked it out the park. Gyllenhaal's Mysterio, that motherfucker is amazing.
This is
And
awesome.
I've never liked Mysterio, ever. Like
Oh,
in the cartoon,
man.
in the comics, nah, dude. Gyllenhaal knocked it out the park.
I'm like
So-
super duper hyped. So anyway,
So we'll be spoiler talk next week, damn it.
absolutely,
whenever,
we'll be starting talking next
'cause
week. But you know
that
what? The
movie
other
was
thing we're going to be
amazing.
doing next week. Here's the other thing we're going to be doing next week. Malian is not going to be on the show, which is unfortunate. She's going to be
Will
traveling.
I? Who knows?
Who knows?
Stay
Maybe.
tuned.
But one of the things we got planned for you that we cooked up is we're going to be talking about our Saturday morning memories, like from way back in the day. So like we're talking like our favorite lineups of Saturday morning cartoon shows, the favorite cereals that we like to eat, on Saturday mornings. Our routines, like because literally it might like nowadays kids sleep in till 10 o'clock or later on Saturday mornings. Dude, that junk was unheard of when we were growing up. Like it was you wake up at 7:30, ready to go every Saturday.
Sit next to each
Not
other.
kidding. Not kidding.
Yeah, I'm not in this because I like my sleep being a sleeper like this.
No, that was unheard of. That was unheard
You grew
of.
up in a
back then.
different era.
You sure
I
did.
did. I am. You guys are Gen Xers. I'm Gen Y. So
Yes.
The greatest
Better
generation. The greatest generation. Anyway, so
you're not that old.
it
Yeah, that
doesn't
greatest
matter. It's the
generation wasn't
greatest
that
generation.
great. We're the
Yeah, it
greatest
really
generation.
wasn't. It really wasn't all that great.
The greatest. That's their name though. The great before the baby.
No.
No.
The greatest
No.
generation.
That's the
their
name they get.
That
No.
was their name because they didn't know no better.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Gen X is
Exactly.
not the greatest generation. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I
Like,
beg to differ.
We're the most
I totally beg to
most
differ.
powerful- We're the most powerful and we got the best pop culture.
Yes, we do.
I mean,
absolutely,
right
unquestioned.
now, yes,
Unquestioned.
but-
Man, please, there ain't gonna be no pop culture like ours was back then when we grew up. I mean, they still pulling stuff from our generation to bring up to today. Come on now.
Yeah, sure.
You know it.
Yeah,
You know it.
sure.
You know it. Anyway, guys,
No,
we hope
I
you'll
disagree.
join us We hope you'll join us next week, Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, for another great episode of Culture Junkies Live. I'm your host, Kenshiro, and for my friends, Miao Yin, Super Nerd, not on the show. They're great, Dadaku. Big Kahuna's in the chat. Fallen Marvel, who's in the chat, and Mr. GQ. We'll see you guys next week. Have a blessed and safe, happy 4th of July tomorrow. We'll see you guys next week. Peace out.
Happy 4th of July.
Goodbye.
Fireworks and shit.
If you shoot a firework into your eye, I'm going to laugh at you.
Somebody out there is losing a finger tomorrow.
As you should.